Hi, Rebecca from Two Red Shoes Mortgage Brokers. Just want to talk about something that I see quite a lot. I see people, particularly who live in Sydney, and they decide to do the sea change and then move into the coast. It might be the sea change, it might be the tree change, whatever it is, it means moving out of a really popular area into a more lifestyle location. And while I'm absolutely jealous and I'm desperate to move to the coast myself, what I worry about for you when you move to the coast is if you don't like it, how do you get back? Unfortunately, I have seen people who've moved quite a distance. The property market hasn't moved so quick in those locations, and yet Sydney has. And they find that if they need to, if they want to, they just can't come back. So if at all possible, what I would say to you is try and keep a base in a location like Sydney that you might want to come back to. And that gives you a footprint in the area that's going up. What I would say is if you already own a home in Sydney, consider all of your options before you stick it on the market. It still might make sense. I'm totally okay with that. But at least if you've looked at it, you can really know in your heart that you've made the right decisions. So what this might look like is it might look like renting in the place that you're moving to, and at least until you find out which suburb that you definitely want to settle in, or what type of property, or that you definitely don't want to come straight back, that you've got the work prospects that you thought you would have, everything has worked out. It's a really big move. It's quite difficult to come back. So your place in Sydney, you could potentially rent it out. If it's not suitable for renting, maybe you could sell it, buy a place when you do decide where you are going to settle, and buy an investment property in Sydney that gives you that little bit of a footprint in the growing market. There's absolutely nothing wrong when you, at the end of the day, when you've made your decisions and you want out, there's nothing wrong with selling up and staying where you are. I've seen it happen. For example, people who've moved out of Sydney in around about 2000, they sold their house, particularly friends of mine sold their house for $160,000 in Sydney, and within the next few years, houses pretty much doubled. They did have to come back and just couldn't buy in again. So they're still to this day renting. That's not something that I want for you if it's simple enough to find out some of your options.